All right, hey, we're going to get going because this got to be a fast video today. But as we've worked through this series of videos, looking at your business for 2019, making sure you're as ready as you can be to have 2019 be the most successful year you've had in mortgage or real estate, we're going to look at an aspect that you may or may not be using, but I know you've heard of it, and that is time blocking. Time blocking. That sends shudders through some people, and I know it used to for me as well. And so, but we need to look at that today, and we'll do that here in just a moment. Okay, so time blocking. And the reason I chose today as time blocking was because yesterday's video, we looked at and talked about this one thing that as a mortgage professional or real estate agent, like you do so well. And every time you execute on that particular strategy, new deals come in, new transactions, new leads, and your closings rise. And all of a sudden you're super busy. But usually what happens is we get so busy, we forget to take those actions that work every time, and then our production goes back down. So today, we want to look at kind of the next step in that series. If you've identified the one thing you know you're so good at, and it's going to increase your business, well, we've got to ensure that that's getting done. It's got to be a priority. Today, we're going to look just at this aspect of time blocking. There's other things that go into this, but for the sake of brevity, we have to hit this and try to determine for you, like, what are some of the things that prevent you from executing in time blocking. The one I can almost guarantee you, this was a huge hang up for me, and I see it all the time, is we tend to try and like we're at zero time blocks, right? We have no blocks of time set aside for certain projects or tasks. And then we want to go from 0 to 100, where every minute of the day is scheduled. And man, like, it's so hard to make a change like that. And plus, when you don't leave room for distractions or emergencies, it's so easy to get off schedule, and all of a sudden your time blocks are blown, and then we give up and quit. And that's no good. So here's my tips for today. Start super, super small. So yes, it'd be great if you were executing on 20 time blocks a week, but 10 would be unbelievable. And let me tell you something else. If you were to do 5 1-hour time blocks a week working on your one thing that generates business, it'll change your 2019. And so as opposed to trying to go super, super big, my encouragement to you today is go small, start small. As small as like a 30-minute window, a 30-minute time block next week where you block that time out on your calendar to execute on your one thing. Maybe it's those 20 proactive phone calls, or maybe it's you're going to head over to an office that you have a great relationship with and they want to see you, but you just neglected going in. So you block out that 30-minute window. And so that's step one. Start small. Don't try and do 20 in a week. We'll start with 1. The second quick tip is this. You need to have a very specific action tied to that time block. And what I mean by that is if you say in your time block, like, this is my high payoff time. I'm going to work on business building activities. Like, when the time block pops up, you look at that business building activity. What is that one thing? It's not specific enough. So if it is going to be those 20 proactive phone calls, or you're gonna execute on your handwritten notes to your past clients, like, it's got to be very specific that this is the goal, this is the action that's going to take place during that time slot. So your brain doesn't even have to think, it doesn't have time to object to the action that you want to take. It's just like, boom, this is what we're doing, and we're going to go. And I'll take it a step further. Another quick tip would be usually with any project, something that's really important, there's details that need to be taken care of. We'll go back to the 20 phone calls, 20 proactive phone calls that you're going to make. Well, even if it's specific, time block pops up and I'm going to make 20 proactive phone calls during this block, but like, it pops up and you're like, well, who am I going to call? And where are their phone numbers? Am I calling past clients? Am I calling prospects? And so you look at the Outlook reminder that's up on your screen, and we've all done it, and you dismiss it because you're not prepared. You know it's going to take you 30, 40 minutes just to get ready to do it. and your inbox is full and your voicemail is full and your texts are going and like we dismiss. Okay. So not only does it need to be specific, but you got to have the details covered and think ahead of time of what are the things I got to have done so when the time block hits, I'm ready to go. Last one, we mentioned, the Outlook reminders that pop up on our screen, and it's important, but you hit dismiss anyway because you're too busy. What I have learned about myself, and I think this works for a lot of people, is I need to wake myself up. And I use that Outlook reminder as the wake up call. So for example, instead of it saying, time block for high payoff activities, 20 phone calls, I'm going to say something like 20 proactive phone calls. Jay, what the heck are you doing trying to dismiss this calendar invite? And I'll write it out. Something to catch my attention, something to literally to wake me up and go, no, there's temptation to dismiss this, to snooze this for 30 minutes and I'll get back to it. But man, like we all know, there's no way to go through your to-do list today and get everything done. There's just no way. And so if we blow this off, the chances of actually getting back to it are slim. And again, we said yesterday, top producers, they're not doing anything special. They're taking the one or two things they do really, really well, and they execute it consistently. So that's either every day or 3 days a week, or it depends on what the activity is that you're really good at, but it's got to be consistent. That's what fills your pipeline. Okay. So, man, I hope that helps you today. I hope you'll take a step and start right now today. Look at your calendar, block out 30 minutes, just a 30-minute window next week to work on that one thing that you're really good at. And when you do it, it always has a payoff. You always see an increase in applications or leads, and you're gonna be super thankful that you did. All right. Hey, if that time block thing works well for you, drop me a line and let me know, and we'll see you guys in the next video.